Okay, y'all, let's get into this. This is Married to Medicine LA, Season 2, Episode 10. Now, this is some absolute garbage. This episode to me was complete and utter garbage. So let's just hurry up and get into this. Hopefully, this won't be too long. There's not much to talk about because not much happened. So hopefully, I can get through this in about 10 minutes or less. Okay, so we start off with Jasmine and Shanique. Okay, this is around Christmas time when this was filmed. So Jasmine is getting Shanique. Look, y'all. I barely paid attention to this episode because it was a bit boring. So I barely paid attention. So I'm probably going to be missing a lot of details, maybe a lot of important details, because it couldn't hold my attention. And when something doesn't hold my attention, I'm sorry, I'm just going to miss a lot. So it was just last week I really enjoyed Married to Medicine LA because I thought that there was going to be more growth, more happening. I forgot that was the second to the last episode. And so this past Sunday, this was, I think, Season 2, Episode 10 was the very last episode. The title is something about Jasmine's Christmas party or something. Okay, so Jasmine gives Shanique a phone number, which is a phone number to Josh Altman. I don't know who Josh Altman is, but when I Googled his name, I guess he's on million dollar listing. I don't know. I don't watch that show, so I don't know who he is. Supposedly, he's a very successful, high-end luxury real estate agent. And so Jasmine had the connections. She hooked up her girl with a meeting with Josh Altman. When they showed up at the restaurant, cafe, wherever they were at, Shanique was like, so I guess, you know what this meeting is for. And Josh Altman was like, actually, I don't know why I'm meeting you. But I guess, he did as a favor to Jasmine. So they get to talking about the real estate business. She lets him know that she's a property manager and she wants to go into real estate. And he tells her, okay, whatever you know about property management has nothing to do with real estate. So you're going to need like a whole new skill set when it comes to actually selling real estate. So they chit chat about that. He basically tells her, if you want to get into the high-end real estate part of it, high-end real estate business, you really need to work with the group. You really can't do this on your own because, a guy like me shows up and, I'll take all your listings or whatever he said. So she basically ends up selling herself to him. I don't know exactly what he's going to do. I guess he was there to give her pointers, to give her advice. He also did tell her that if you're going to do luxury real estate, you can't do this as a part-time job. It has to be your full-time job because you have to be available whenever, wherever. And so, that kind of gives her pause a little bit, but I'm pretty sure she's going to go ahead with it. This scene really wasn't that interesting, y'all. Oh my God. It wasn't interesting. Okay, so then she talks about how, her little niche, because he tells her if you want to go into high-end real estate, you can't do all of LA, or do from one part of the county to the other, one part of the city to the other. You have to find like an exclusive little area that you're going to be an expert in, that you're going to know backward and forward. So you'll have all the knowledge. You'll be like an expert in every single property in this little tiny area. So she tells him, I guess her specialty will be, because her husband's a doctor and he knows a lot of medical students that have just graduated, gotten their doctor's license, medical license, that are looking for homes. And so she says, that could be my first set of clients. And of course, y'all, I'm paraphrasing. I don't know exactly what she said because I really wasn't paying attention. So she said that, my husband's a doctor and he works with a lot of new residents or new doctors, and they're looking for homes, because they're finally getting, their big salaries. And so they're looking for property. And she says that, I could concentrate on buying, selling them homes. And Josh Altman was like, yeah, great idea. Wonderful. So she's good to go with that. Okay, so then we move on to Imani. So Imani's mother comes over to Imani's house to, meet with her and her son and basically see how she's doing. I guess that's what the meeting was for. She gets to, Imani's mom is she comes over to Imani's house to whatever, spend time with Imani and her son. And one thing that I realized every time I see Imani and her mother, but especially her mother, and I guess Imani gets it from her mother is very prim and proper and very well put together. And, you know, she's just a very poised, stoic type woman. And she seems like the kind of woman that really doesn't show a lot of emotion, a lot of affection. And Imani is like that, but I see Imani trying to like break away from that. But Imani really is a lot like her mom in that sense of just being always in control and very poised and very proper and, you know, well-mannered, and you don't show emotion, and you know, don't lose control. So I realized that about these two women. So they're sitting there in the living room or wherever they're at. It's Imani, her mother, and her son. And if y'all remember in the last episode, which was the Christmas, when they went away on their staycation and they were exchanging Christmas gifts, I think it was Shanique who gave Imani some adult toys. So Imani brings this up to her mom in front of her son, which was to me shocking. And I guess, you know, Imani and her son just have that type of a relationship where they can just talk about whatever and anything. But I was shocked. I was like, oh my God. So Imani talks about how at the staycation, Shanique had given her adult toys. And, you know, she's like very explicit about what was given to her in front of her son. And her son was just like, you know, chilling, whatever, like he's used to it, you know, which is good because in a way it's like Imani and her son have a very open relationship. And, you know, her son seems like, you know, he can come to his mom and talk to his mom about anything, which is a huge, huge plus. But still, I was like, oh my God, you're talking about, you know, those things in front of your son. And then he made a joke about how he wanted to see them and he wanted to put them on the Christmas tree. That was funny. So Kendra and her husband Hobart. Okay, so they're together in the living room with their baby. They're cute little baby. And Kendra basically tells Hobart that, remember that contract I told you that was offered, but I didn't tell you whether or not I was going to take it? Well, I ended up taking the contract. And eventually, you know, he ends up supporting her. He's like, okay, you know, I'm going to support you. We're going to do this together. Everything is going to be fine. And she reassures him that because the hospital knows that she is a new mom and has a doctor husband, that they will be accommodating with if she needs, you know, to take time off or she needs to cut her hours or reduce her work schedule. She reassures Hobart that she'd be able to do that. So they've come together on that issue. You know, he's okay with her going back to work. He's very supportive of her going back to work. And she does leave the door open that if need be, you know, she'll spend more time at home if needed. Okay, Shanique meets, okay, we talked about Shanique and Altman. Y'all, this was such a drag. Britton and her people meaning her family. So Britton finally kicks her son out of her room so that her husband can sleep there with her. So they show a scene where it's time to go to bed, and she tells her son, well, her and her husband tell their son, okay, you know, you're gonna go sleep in your own room today. And of course he's a little bit like, no, I'm not. Y'all are not flipping the script on me. I've been doing this since day one, so no, I'm not. And so they kind of convince him, like, you know what, you know, mommy and daddy, they need private time, and this is mommy and daddy's room, not, you know, mommy and your room. It's mommy and daddy's room, and you're gonna have to go sleep by yourself. And so he fights that, and then he runs back into their room. When they put him in his room, I think he runs back into their room. And so then he says, well, can I go sleep with, I don't know her name, their daughter's name. I don't know the son's name either. I can't remember his name. But I think they call her Mooch or something like that. But anyways, he says he wants to go sleep with his sister. And so they tell him, well, if it's okay with your sister, yeah, you can go sleep with your sister. So they go in, they ask Mooch, and she's on the lower bunk bed on her phone, you know, Miss Attitude. I don't know how old this girl is, but this girl looks like she's going on 30. And so, because her attitude. So then the little boy asked his sister, hey, can I sleep with you tonight? And she's like, yeah, but you're going to have to sleep on the top bed. So he's cool with that. So they solved that problem. He's okay with sleeping with his sister. They get their room back. Hopefully it stays like this, because it's really hard to get, older kids out of your room if they've been sleeping with you since they were babies. So hopefully that works out with them. Now we get to the heart of the episode, Jasmine's Christmas party. Okay, so Jasmine's Christmas party. I remember in a previous episode, someone had said that Jasmine's house is huge. It's huge, but it looks a little bit outdated. And I totally see that. Her house is humongous, but it really looks outdated. It looks like an 80s mansion. It looks like nothing has been updated since the 1980s. Like it was built in the early 80s. So she hosts this Christmas party. Everybody shows up, and okay, let's talk about the mansion again. I have more to say. The thing about the mansion to me is that it's all this marble. It's a lot of marble. And all of that marble just kind of gives it like a museum kind of feel. Not even like a homey feel, like a home. It's like a museum or something. Or you're walking into an office building. All of that cream marble, it was just too much. And I don't mind the wrought iron. Somebody on the show had said that they didn't like all that wrought iron. I don't mind the wrought iron. I kind of like wrought iron. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but the marble just had to go. It just did not feel comfortable. It looked like a home that they go spend time in, 1 or 2 months out of the year. Like, not like people live there every day, like a family lives there every day. It really didn't feel like a home. But anyways, so she hosts this Christmas party. Everybody arrives. She's still upstairs getting ready. When they show her getting ready with her makeup people, her hair and makeup people, she has on a black dress, which I thought was a slip that she would wear under a dress, if people still wear slips, because I don't wear dresses, so I don't know if people are still wearing slips under their dresses. But it looked like a nightgown or a slip or something, because it was short, spaghetti straps, black, really short. And so I thought, okay, this is what she's going to wear while she's getting ready, because she's going to get makeup or whatever on her clothes, and then she's going to change. Well, when she comes downstairs to meet everybody, she's wearing the same thing. And so that was her dress for the evening. That really short nightgown looking, lingerie looking dress was her dress for the party. I couldn't believe it. So her husband, I'm assuming, lives there. So the big mystery of the night was, where's her husband? I think they call him Dr. J. Where's Dr. J? Where's Dr. J? Because evidently, we're assuming he lives here with you, Jasmine, and you're hosting a Christmas party. Where's your husband? So her husband doesn't show at all. Everyone's trying to figure out where he's at. They want to go upstairs, the girls from the show. They want to go upstairs to try to see if they can find him, but she hired a security guard. And everybody was off. The upstairs was completely off limits to everybody. So when they're trying to go up the stairs, Kendra and Shanique and Britton and Imani, the security guard is like, no, can do. No one's allowed to go upstairs. It's not going to happen. So I'm just not understanding, why not tell the girls, because we're supposed to assume that they are friends in real life, that they hang out in real life. And even if they're not actual friends in real life, they are co-workers, they're associates of the show. And so I'm pretty sure that there are events that they have to go to, meetings that they have to go to. And you would think that they had met her husband at some point, but everybody's like, nope, we've never seen the man. They don't even know his name. They don't even know this guy's name. So I'm not understanding that. Now, Jasmine, if your husband just doesn't want to be on the show, just tell them, hey, he didn't sign up for the show. I did. And he's not that keen on being on a reality TV show. So he's never going to show. But I guess their whole thing is, even if he doesn't want to be on TV, why haven't we met him? Why don't we see him? Because we are still, hanging out with each other, spending time together, talking to each other when the cameras are off. And I guess they still don't see him then. I'm assuming that's what's going on here. I don't know. So her husband never materializes. There are pictures of him. She's got family photos all over the place. But when they show the photos, they've blurred out his face. Or his face is covered. His face is censored. So we don't know what he even looks like. So that's crazy to me. So then her party is just as outdated as her house. She has ball dancers at her party. And these are women who go into these huge bubbles on this pool, on the swimming pool, and in the swimming pool, and they dance in the bubble. And so there's like a funny scene, I guess, of Leah getting into a bubble to dance, and she falls and almost hits her head on the edge of the pool, on the concrete edge of the pool. She almost, bangs the back of her head because she fell. And then she's on the pool trying to keep her balance on the pool. Whatever. What else happened at this party that's of any significance at all, that's worth my time, that's worth talking about? Okay, the pool thing. Oh, so she has a fake Mariah Carey, come to her party. This was just so random. And her thing is that, her reason for having a fake Mariah is, it's just not a Christmas party with that Mariah because, of her song that, got a lot of attention and play again, All I Want for Christmas, I think, last Christmas in 2019. So she has this Mariah Carey impersonator show up, and everybody is like, what? Like, what? What is this? I didn't get it. So she's got a fake Mariah. She's got ball dancers. She's missing a husband. She has her buffet, her food looked good, even though she was trying to keep it healthy and low carb. It looked really good. Not much happened, y'all. I don't even know what else to say about this. I mean, that was about it. Oh, then she had a choir. So at the end of the episode, a full-on choir in green choir robes. I mean, they looked outdated. A full-on choir comes down her staircase, and they're singing. I can't remember what song they say. They come down and they're singing, and I guess that kind of gets the party hype a little bit because it's a really good gospel choir. People are singing and clapping their hands, and everyone's coming alive. But it was still kind of like, I don't know. I mean, the whole thing to me was just really like thrown together. Jasmine always talks about how, she is like known for her extravagant parties. But I guess there's a difference between being extravagant and being like good. It was extravagant. Did it look expensive? I don't even know. It was extravagant, I guess, because it was a lot of confusion, a lot of random things going on. But it just it didn't seem like a good party. It just really didn't seem like a good party. That's it. That's the end of Married to Medicine LA. It was only 10 episodes. I mean, it was like you blinked and the season was gone. But they did have a lot of, to me, I guess you could call it cliffhangers. Like, I want to know, is Jasmine's husband ever going to show up on the show? Are we ever going to see what he looks like? Or give us a good reason of why we're not seeing him. Just say he doesn't want to be a part of this. That's number one. Number two, Imani and her divorce. So Imani at the party did say that, I guess it's her whole journey of trying to be more open, trying to be more human and not so robotic. She did come out and tell the girls, hey, I really appreciate y'all being there for me while I'm going through this, divorce thing. I guess she's getting more comfortable opening up, and she kind of felt the support that they were trying to give her, so that was good. So Imani and her divorce and how she's going to move on, I'm interested in that. I don't know what's going to happen with that, especially if she's going to find new love. Now the girls at the party were like, we know what Imani wants. She wants a new man. The best way to get over an old one is to get under a new one. But the thing is, this is like, why does everybody have to chase a man? You know, like, why can't she just kind of chill for a bit? Which I think she said in her confessional, that even if Brad Pitt tried to come up to her, she was going to tell him to back off a little bit because she needs time to recoup, which is definitely true. She doesn't need to jump into another relationship. She doesn't need a man right now. She needs to just kind of chill, relax. And of course, they were telling her that because, you know, she's married. For 5 years of her marriage, her and her husband were not intimate at all. So they're like, girl, you need a man. Yeah, she probably needs some company, but she doesn't need to get into a relationship. So I'm interested in that, you know, how Imani moves on from her divorce. When I think about what happened in season 1 and the relationship between her and her husband, I'm trying to figure out if there are any clues that they were headed to divorce. I did see that there was like an awkwardness between them, but then I just chalked it up to Imani being Imani. You know, Imani being a little bit reserved, kind of cold. And maybe that was a problem for them. Maybe that was a problem in their relationship. But I just kind of accepted it for what it was. I was like, okay, you know, maybe it's a little bit awkward in front of the cameras. Is this season 1, their first time in front of the cameras like this, having cameras on your face all the time? And maybe this is just how Imani is, but evidently those were signs of them headed towards separation. Okay, and I'm also interested in Shanique. I'm actually interested in her whole thing with real estate. You know, now with the whole COVID thing, I don't know how that's going for her, but I'm interested in knowing how that worked out. You know, how that's working out with her. You know, if she was able to be one of those top-notch real estate agents that are selling the multi-million-dollar properties. And Britain, you know, she's always, you know, she's cool. She can, you know, she's fine. She can come back. Britain, Shanique. Oh, Leah. Yeah, we need more Leah. We need more Leah because I still feel like there's tension there between her and, definitely between her and Jasmine, I think. Because when Leah got into that big bubble, it was actually Jasmine that kind of pushed her out into the pool, which caused her to lose her balance and to fall flat on her back. Thank God she did not bust her head wide open. And then we have Kendra. I'm interested in Kendra. I'm interested to see her role as a new mommy and how that's working out, working and having a new baby. And of course, you know, Hobart, he's a bag of laughs. So that is the end of Married to Medicine LA season 2. I hope it comes back for season 3, and I hope it comes back with more episodes. Now, it could have been cut really short because of the COVID thing. I'm going to assume that's why it was cut short. I didn't pay attention at the very, very, very end. When the choir began to sing, I kind of lost focus. So I don't know if they put up those little blurbs that they normally do at the end of the Real Housewives, where they kind of talk about what everybody was doing after the show. I don't know if they have. I don't think they did, but I'm not sure. And I didn't see any previews of the reunion, but I watched a recorded version of Married to Medicine LA. So I don't know if there were commercials after, but usually they put the previews like really close to the end of the episode, and I would normally catch that. So I didn't see any previews of a reunion. So I don't know if there will be a reunion, but if there is a reunion, then I'll be back. 23 minutes. This went on way too long. That's it. Everybody take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.